Good afternoon. This is Dominic with TheBackVlog. A few weeks ago, my fiance and I watched Wolf Children, the Mamoru Hosoda film. And like I said, it was weeks ago, so I'm going to try to talk about it because it's not as fresh in my mind anymore. I really love the style of this film. And when I was watching it, I was thinking, because of how polished and I guess super stylistic this film is, it had me thinking that it came out later than it did. But I think what was it, 2014 or something, right? 2012, that's even earlier. This thing looks like it was from this decade, and from what I remember, that's one of the things that definitely stands out to me. I was also expecting it to be much sadder. Well, not to say that it wasn't sad, but I am prone to emotional aspects of media, and I did get teary-eyed with the, I guess you could call it the opening sequence with what's her name, with Hana and her werewolf lover. Like, that entire sequence is really heartbreaking and cold because I don't remember if they ever had the name of the Wolfman, but he turns into a wolf, and just like a straight up dog. In the beginning of the film, it's like kind of very similar to like Pixar's Up, with a couple, and like they kind of Up is a lot more sentimental, and I would say heartbreaking, just because the sheer amount of time that they cover in that short segment. But that's not to say that the two parents in this film don't have a good connection and a history to tell for that beginning section of it. And it ends with the man in his wolf form, and he like comes washed up in like a sewer, and a pickup crew or something, animal control or something like that, like they pick up the body and just like throw it into the back of like a trash truck, and it's just so cruel because it's like that it is a human as well, and that he has a family, and not only that, but his family is like sitting there watching this happen, but the people here don't know that, and they're just treating it like a dead dog, which is it's really depressing. I mean, the fact that they're treating it like that, even if it was just a dead dog, is still like depressing, because it's just like they just toss it in. It's just, I don't know, it doesn't feel respectful. And that was definitely like the part of the film where I was probably the most moved. But that's not to say that there are other parts in here as well. Hana, the main character here, the mother of the two children, now has to raise these children by herself, and she's definitely having a hard time, not only because being a single mother is incredibly difficult, but she's also kind of like trying to figure out the line between parenting them as if they were human children or parenting them as if they were puppies, because they're both. And Hosoda takes a lot of consideration into like the scenario of this actually happening, because there are points like when like the kids get sick and she doesn't know whether to take them to the vet or the pediatrician, or like they're getting noise complaints about having animals in the apartment, but they're also getting visits from like child protective services, and like she gets evicted because she's not allowed to have pets, but they're not her pets, they're her children. And it's just like there's like all these like little things that you just kind of like wouldn't think of in this. Well, it's not that you wouldn't think of them, but it's kind of like combining the aspects of the legality of parenting as well as pet ownership, and it's like it's combining those two things, and that situation cannot be an easy situation at all. There are incredibly tender moments in here as well. And I think this film is at its strongest whenever the children do kind of sort of start coming into their own, and they realize who they want to be and which part of themselves they want to embrace, and what they need to do in order to not only achieve those goals for themselves, but accept themselves as who they are, you know, given their situation. I don't really have any notes for this film. Like I said, it's a very tender film. It's very loving and very stressful at times, and heartbreaking just because of the death that permeates this, but also the struggle of parenting, you know. I wish I had a fresher take on it, but I watched it like 2 weeks ago.